I'm Carrie Peters, a recognized thought leader in the Microsoft Dynamics community and a Microsoft MVP for business applications. Welcome to the Get Your New View podcast. Keep listening to learn how we work with frustrated Business Central and NAV users who struggle to use their system and find the answers that they need. We teach them to truly understand how the system can support their business processes to make immediate and lasting improvements. As a result, they get more done in less time, make better business decisions, and even love their system. In this episode, we're going to talk about the Phase 2 project, Dimensions. So why do people put off using Dimensions until Phase 2 after their go live? I think that the number one reason that people put this off is that they don't understand them. Maybe their partner did not spend time to help them to understand. Maybe companies have self-implemented and they just don't understand how foundational Dimensions are to how the system works. Or maybe the company just tried and failed. So maybe they spent quite a bit of time on it, couldn't reach consensus, didn't really understand it, and said, oh, well, forget it. We're going to move on. I will tell you that Dimensions can be difficult to put into place after your go live. And my strong preference is to define this as part of the original configuration of your system. It's not impossible to do it after go live as a Phase 2 project. That's why we're talking about it. But the reason that it's difficult is that while you can put them into place later, you're missing the opportunity for those data tags to be attached to your migrated and new data without significant effort. The other thing is if you are coming to Business Central for the first time from some other system, and if you have a complex or outdated chart of accounts, now is absolutely the time to be really spending some time on defining Dimensions, because Dimensions can clean that up and make your chart of accounts so incredibly efficient. It's absolutely worth it to invest time up front to define these so that the data that you're recording has all of those data tags that you need for really robust financial reporting later, but so that you also can create a really efficient and compact chart of accounts that works really, really well for you. So Dimensions can absolutely be designed badly. So please don't do this on your own. Do work with an experienced consultant who understands Dimensions and who can guide you on this process. It's just that important. I think a lot of companies don't understand Dimensions as a feature. So let's talk about that just a bit. If you define Dimensions, I would say that Dimensions are data tags that are attached to your posted transactions. That's that simple. They're just data tags that go along with everything that gets posted in the system, and they can make your financial reporting very robust when you use them. You can really get to a much deeper level with your reporting than you can with simply reporting against your general ledger or your chart of accounts. They can absolutely reduce a great amount of complexity in your chart of accounts. If you have segmented charts of accounts, we absolutely want to take that down to your natural general ledger account number and have those segments act as Dimensions. But even more than that, if you have complexity in your chart of accounts, so look for areas where you have a lot of breakdown for a single account. I'll pick on revenue or sales. You might have one sales account, in which case you're probably using Dimensions, or you could have 20 revenue accounts because you're breaking down your revenue by, let's say, your item brands, because you want to be able to track those separately. Keep in mind that reduction of complexity in your chart of accounts is going to lead to efficiency with how things work in your accounting department. It's going to require less review, fewer error corrections, less time for decision making if you have a more efficient chart of accounts, and Dimensions are going to make that possible. The other thing that companies might not know about Dimensions is they actually add a lot of control to your postings so that they're accurate. We can do a lot of work to populate Dimensions by default in the system. And because of this means that the system is doing the work instead of your people doing the work. And you may only have to set up a new record once. So maybe when you have a new customer or you have a new product that you're selling, you'll have to tell the system what dimensions are attached to that. But after that, the system does all the work. Every time you have some kind of a transaction or process in the system that touches those records, those things are going to populate by default. And because of that, nobody has to make a decision about that. Nobody has to spend time maybe checking with somebody on how they should code things. It's just done automatically. And because it's done automatically and we also have control in the system, the control makes sure that we don't end up with garbage data coming out of dimensions. The control makes sure that we're selecting the correct choice in the right place, that we're not populating blank or null data. It really helps a lot for not just really robust financial reporting, but even backing that up a little bit, accurate postings in your system. Do you have phase 2 projects that have been on your to-do list for way too long? Did your team ever really get good training to understand how to use your business software? Do you think you could use more features of your software if you just knew how? Are you frustrated with inefficiency that never seems to get better? Do you suspect that there just has to be a better way, but you don't know what that is? We believe every company can benefit from increased efficiency and higher utilization of their software, and that it's possible to have fun while learning exactly how to do that. The experts at NewView Strategies work with frustrated Business Central and NAV users who struggle to use their system and find the answers they need. We teach them to truly understand how the system can support their business processes to make immediate and lasting improvements. As a result, they get more done in less time, make better business decisions, and even love their system. Please contact us at getyournewview.com to get started. So if you think about the benefits of dimensions, we've already talked about how they can make our financial reporting really powerful. But what about the ability to slice and dice data inside your system? Dimensions can add a whole new aspect to filtering capabilities that you have in the system. So you can do filtering just on your screen with whatever it is that you need. Forget the financial reporting. Think about your daily research needs when you're trying to get answers about what is happening in your system. Being able to use those dimensions to filter inside your system is a huge benefit. And we already talked about data accuracy with default dimensions, but think about things like using dimensions with recurring sales or purchase codes. We can create a lot of automation inside the system simply by adding dimensions to recurring sales or purchase codes and reducing by a great amount the amount of manual data entry that has to happen with our payables processes. And we know that the system is going to populate those by default for us very easily. So we don't have to decide about that, and we don't have to go hunt down transactions during our month-end close to make sure that they were posted there correctly. I think probably my favorite customer story about someone who put dimensions into place after their go live. So they'd gone live with no dimensions. They were going to save this for phase 2. And as part of a phase 2 project, we kept things really simple. We said, let's just put in a dimension for our items, one for our customers, and one for our departments. This company went from financials that consisted of a high-level balance sheet income statement and statement of cash flows to reports that included margin by their items and margin by their customers, and even showing margin by their customer according to what items those customers purchased. So they suddenly had visibility into margin that they'd never had before because they could only look at it at the general ledger level. They had departmental reporting against their operating expenses, so they could have a budget where they could see how are they doing plan versus actual. And they even had some really nice, simple revenue reports that showed what items were being sold and in what periods. And same thing with customers, what was happening with customer activity over time. You can see just by adding 3 dimensions, this company kept it really simple. They gained a whole lot of insight into what was happening with their company because they put these into place. And don't forget that you can do more than that. You don't have to be as simple as this company was, although that was an incredible leap in information wealth that they had with just 3 dimensions. But you could do more. Remember that you can use multiple dimensions. So maybe you could have item dimensions that were brand, group, and line. Or maybe you could have customer dimensions that are salesperson, region, and size. So you can gather a whole lot of information about what's happening in your system by incorporating dimensions into the configuration of your system. If you're considering doing a phase 2 project for your dimensions, you should be prepared to have a couple of things ready. So first of all, we want to take a look at your chart of accounts. There still are things that we can do even after you go live to simplify the chart of accounts. It takes a little bit of an analysis, but it can be done. And we can clean things up a little bit with your chart of accounts even after your go live. Certainly, prepare some ideas on what you want to see in your reporting. The story I told about the customer who added the 3 dimensions, they really needed to focus in on margin. They had not been able to get that information from their previous system, and they knew that that's what they want to focus on, and that's what they got as a part of their goals with this project. And remember, too, that your focus here with dimensions really should be on information you can get out of the system financially. Not everything should be a dimension, and it's not appropriate to have tons and tons and tons of dimensions. We really should be focusing on those things that we want to look at financially when we're thinking about dimensions. How can NewView make it easy for you to implement this type of project in phase 2? We understand dimensions deeply, and we regularly do a dimension workshop with our customers to help them to make good dimension choices for their companies. This workshop considers the chart of accounts, the financial reporting, and the efficiency that is involved in the system by how dimensions should be set up. So if this is something that you're interested in, please contact us today. It's super easy. Just send us a quick email to info@getyournewview.com, and we'll set up a quick 30-minute call to talk about how you can get phase 2 projects done like this at your company. Did your team ever really get good training to understand how to use your business software? Do you think you could use more features of your software if you just knew how? Are you frustrated with inefficiency that never seems to get better? Do you suspect that there just has to be a better way, but you don't know what that is? We believe every company can benefit from increased efficiency and higher utilization of their software, and that it's possible to have fun while learning exactly how to do that. The experts at NewView Strategies work with frustrated Business Central and NAV users who struggle to use their system and find the answers they need. We teach them to truly understand how the system can support their business processes to make immediate and lasting improvements. As a result, they get more done in less time, make better decisions, and even love their system. Please contact us at getyournewview.com to get started.